Hi, Becca C. Smith here, and welcome to another episode of Read What You Sow. Mark this occasion with the fact that we're locked down in quarantine because of coronavirus. I decided to challenge myself because I've been wanting to do this for a while. I don't know if it's even possible, to be honest. This could be one of those epic fails or epic successes. Okay, one of my favorite movies is Aliens, the sequel to Alien that James Cameron did in the 80s. I saw the movie first, of course, and I saw it about a gajillion times. I was obsessed. First off, H.R. Giger's artwork, oh my gosh. I mean, obviously he's the one who started the design of an alien. Ripley was such a hero to me because she was this total badass. And the thing that I do like about James Cameron's portrayal of women in his movies is that the women are badasses, but he never has to say it. Like, he never has to, they just are. That's who they are. That's who their characters are. And that's what I love about Ripley, is that she's just so strong, so cool, and was such a hero to me. So it was later that I read the script, and I can't even believe that I actually like the script more than the movie, because I love the movie so much. But the way Cameron writes is really fantastic. I mean, it's just, it feels like you're reading a book, in a sense that you're just turning page after page. And there's a couple extras in the script that are not in the movies, probably just because they didn't have time. But I did love because they show a bit of the planet that they end up on before we get there. So the audience remembers that this is the planet from the first movie where the eggs are. But the people that are on the planet, which you see Newt, Rebecca. By the way, that was my nickname in college because I was obsessed with that movie because her name is Rebecca. And I always just say, no one calls me Rebecca, hoping that someone would get the reference because I always go by Becca. So they called me Newt. I was Newt. See, I'm just very, very close to this movie. So what am I doing? What is my crazy experiment? I'm sure you've guessed it already. I am going to try and make a bag of the xenomorph alien head. Not the body, just the head. I figure it's perfect bag shape. It's taken me a while to really figure out in my head how the pattern will work, but I'm pretty sure I figured out a way to do it. I hope I have all the fabrics and ingredients that I need because I'm not going anywhere. I can't really go out and buy anything. California, the state of California, is on lockdown. I do have some fabric in storage, so let's go there first. My fabric that I cannot fit in the RV. This might work perfect. These are good. But this will be my base, at least for the sides. Then I have this awesome, crazy looking silver. I think it has enough texture in it that I think they'll make really good teeth. And then I'm definitely going to use this. This is stretch vinyl. I'm going to have to try and make that ribbing because I was going to go to Home Depot and get, like a tube or something that has the ribbing, but that's hard to sew and I don't really want to glue anything. I want this to actually be all made of fabric if possible. So there's going to be a lot of stuffing, a lot of, this is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. Normally, guys, I have confidence, this. I have okay, I think I can do this. When I first made the Serenity bag, that was my first crazy bag, is the Serenity from Firefly. And I was like, okay, even then, I still had, I saw it. I saw it. I knew it would work, and it did. But this I've seen, but, it just can go wrong. Was that a kitty? Was that a kitty behind me? There's so many ways that this could go wrong, even though I think I've figured it out. So it's going to be some trial and error, but you guys are going to join me for the ride. All right, let's get started. We've got the basic xenomorph head. This will be the side of the pattern. I think I want the purse opening to be here. Actually, I think it needs to be closer to the head because of the weight distribution. So that seems like a good entrance. The middle piece will come all the way to, let's say, here. This is the back piece, and it will come, gotta overlap a little. Back. We're gonna measure that so we know how long to make it. And we're gonna give ourselves just a little bit of a seam. Now we are going to measure how long we want this piece. We just gotta make two 24 inches long middle pieces for the front and the back. And it's quarantine time, so I look like a disaster, but that's okay because I'm making a xenomorph head bag, so it doesn't matter what I look like. Okay, so I am going to, I've got all my measurements, now I just have to do it. I managed to glue on the teeth for the front panel. I'm hoping this works. I'm gonna sew them on real quick. It's really gonna be about the sides of the alien head that really make this thing look real, but I still need to create the inner piece, which is the face that we'll be looking at when we see this bag. So I've got the teeth and I'm having the mouth shut because it's easier. Get out. Get out.
We're in a nature forest with the sewing machine
Well,
together.
I thought it would be more appropriate for aliens, you know, even though there's absolutely no forest whatsoever in Aliens. I think I'm thinking of Predator more than Aliens, but that's okay. The teeth. I'm not exactly happy about the teeth, but there's not much I can do about it because I need to make the bag with the teeth closed. And what I've realized from all the drawings that I've seen, that like I've added even an extra tooth. It's only supposed to be 3 teeth. That is actually the technical amount of teeth. Because, as we all know, the xenomorph opens his bigger mouth and then a smaller mouth comes forward. Biologically, it can't have a lot of teeth because it has another mouth that comes out. But since I am not I mean, I don't even know if this is going to work. So to add an extra little chompy mouth inside of the bag, that's, you know, it's just, at least right now, that's not going to happen. So I'm hoping that when all is said and done and the whole thing is put together, that I have enough textures and things to kind of not have the teeth be a focus. They may be fine. They may turn out great. It may look wonderful, but right now it just seems off to me somehow. But anyway, I'm gonna sew on the teeth. So this next step is difficult. I have a special presser foot that supposedly clamps this down because if you can see, this is stretch and it's very slippery. So I'm worried that it's the bone is going to slide off the bone. This next part will be interesting. That's why I did it as a separate piece. I can sew it on the bag just because I didn't want to sew this directly onto the bag in case it didn't work. And then I'd ruin the whole bag. Okay guys. now to try and stuff these bones. I did not have any stuffing. Joann's is not open, as you all know. I am ripping open a new pillow that I randomly bought a few months ago and we've never used. But stuffing! These worked, the bones. Now I'm moving on to the same type of process where I'm going to be doing lines so that I can give it that look. The fabric does stretch. It is kind of annoying. Finished both sides, so it kind of gives it that same texture. This vinyl feels like it would be sort of skin, and then this is the bone that goes over it. I just have to put them on the side, and I have to do some texture on this is the bottom jaw. I have to do some texture on here with some like strips of fabric to give it that sinewy, stretchy kind of look. So I still have lots of steps to go. I actually went to a Q&A years ago at the Egyptian Theater in Hollywood, and Gail Ann Hurd was there because, I know, insane. She's one of the biggest producers in Hollywood. The fact that her and James Cameron kind of came up together as a couple. They were married, just working the business, and then he writes Terminator, she wants to produce it, and the rest is history. The cool story that she told, which is interesting because I haven't really been able to back it up just looking through the internet, so it makes me wonder, I don't know. Anyway, the story she told, which I loved, was that they were trying to get the money to do Terminator, and she had said that James Cameron had been hired to write the sequel to Aliens. That was a writing gig, and he was writing it and he wrote the first act, and then she got the cash, or she got the funding to do Terminator. So he's like, hey, this is what she said. Like I said, I can't find anything to back this up, but I love the story, so this may or may not be true. It could be my memory just messing with me, but it always stuck with me, so I guess we'll never know. But anyway, she said that he's like, okay, I can't finish the script because we want to do Terminator. This is his passion. When the studio read what he had so far, the first 30 pages, which are amazing and suspenseful and crazy, that they didn't want to hire anybody else. They would wait. Now, the story that I found on the internet was that after Terminator's success, he decided he wanted to do the next Aliens film, that he had been pitching it, but no one had been interested. And then, but because now with the Terminator success, I guess he went into a pitching room and he wrote Alien on the dry erase board or whatever, and then he put an S and then dollar signs, which is a pretty funny story for a pitch. Aliens, lots of money. And then everyone, I guess, said, yes, let's do this. At that point, he finished the script. But, so I don't know. I feel like the truth is somewhere in between, but I always loved that story. That always stuck with me because when I read those first 30 pages, I too was completely sucked in. It's so good. He's so good at writing action and dialogue, not going too crazy on descriptions, but just enough to keep you just turning the page. I mean, it reads like you see it, and if you've ever seen the movie, it's a pretty suspenseful movie, and that's how the script reads. It was one of my first lessons in learning how to try and write action. I'll never come close. But he so good, blew my mind. All right, well, I'm gonna try and piece some of this together. I'm still preparing all these pieces. This is for the bottom. This is always the hardest part, is the pieces, because even like the jaw, it can't just be a straight thing with no, it looks weird, it just looks shiny. So I create my own textile so that it gives it a little bit of texture. I have to do that with everything. I have to do that right here. I had to make a little pattern, so I need to cut that out. This has to go right here. I have to do a strip here and a strip here, because then after that strip's there, then this is going to go on top of the strip, the shell head. They're coming along. I just have to sew all the pieces together. Nothing's sewn down yet, but it's getting there. I think this might work. Last piece of the puzzle is the interior. It's the actual purse itself. When I stuff a bag so tightly, because I really want to bring out all the features, the bag gets squished and then you can't get anything in there. So what I do is I buy these are actually little flag posts. There were flags attached to this that you put on your lawn, but they're enough that you can bend them back and forth to break them. And then I just sew little pockets on each seam and stick them in there. I use these for the legs of my unicorn bags so they stand up, but they work for this too. So that way I've essentially made a cage that even with the stuffing pushed in, I still have room. So I'm gonna do that. I did it! Oh my god, this is kind of crazy. And then the bag and the cage makes it so that I have lots of room. Here is the little guy. When I see this hanging from the RV in the morning, I just kind of get a giddy little rush. So this is more close-up footage so you can see the actual details. I did a lot of textile work and detailing work. But I really think that the bone and the parts that I stuffed give it that extra texture that I think just really makes it work. I think it's a success. I'm very, very happy with my little xenomorph. Mwah. He's just gonna be my writing buddy. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for watching. And I have no idea what I'm going to make next time. I feel like it's going to be probably a lot easier than this. Who knows? But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.